Welcome to SWIMFANS. I am your co-host. What is a man? A miserable pile of lesbian sex accordions. I'm Josh McKenzie.
I don't have anything. I'm glowing. I'm Craig Mason.
The resignation with which you said that was really amazing.
Like you deign to glow.
Yeah.
I'm a big pile of trash. I'm Jennifer Hawking.
This week on SWIMFANS Unknown Pleasures, we are talking 1994 Shu Li Chang film, Fresh Kill.
Just do it.
So if you've not seen Fresh Kill, this is a movie about Shireen and Claire. They are a lesbian couple in New York City. And what you need to know about New York City is that they have recently just installed a giant real-life dump in Staten Island called Fresh Kill. Mm-hmm. Fresh Kills, plural. So one of the women, her name is Shireen. She spends her days sort of like in the proximity of the dump, sort of like picking up like artifacts, things that can be salvaged and either sold or used. And Claire, the other woman, works as a waitress at like a very interesting sushi bar with their like third friend, Johnny. So they all sort of work and live together, and they're raising the two women's daughter, Honey, right? So that's sort of our main cast here. What we know right away is that there is like there's a multinational evil corporation called the GX Corporation, and the movie takes great pains to show you their various advertisements, their various good and bad works. So Johnny on the side is like a hacker, and he becomes aware of like a hacker collective that is working to expose the GX Corporation, and they are trying to expose at the beginning of this film that fish in the greater New York area are turning green, like neon glowing green. The fish is becoming. So like more and more people are eating this contaminated, mucked up fish, after which they will begin to glow, right? Johnny sort of gets sort of clued into this sort of hacktivist collective working down to take down the GX Corporation. I believe it's the Africa United Network. To take down the GX Corporation. And so it's a lot of like the days in the life of these women in this very strange vision of New York City, until Honey, the little girl, has eaten a bunch of fish, and then she turns green and then vanishes. Okay. So after this becomes like a big PR like nightmare for the GX Corporation. They find out that all of their fish, including all of their cat food, is like bad vibes infected. So they pull it all from the shelves, and the women and Johnny are trying to find Honey, and it turns out that Honey has been with Shireen's father, her grandfather. He has managed to find her somehow, and has been sort of spending time with her, and the women reunite with their daughter on Staten Island. In like the final like movement of the film, the final like moment here, we see that the GX Corporation has been exposed, probably by the AUN, for poisoning everybody and everything, and we see I would say a very prescient observation where the company has become sort of touchy-feely and sensitive and green, claiming to be green, not bad vibes green, but sustainable green. And so they sort of like reaffirm that we love and we care about you, the consumer. And then we sort of get this vision of various parts of the movie that in this post-scandal world are exactly the same, but they've now sort of reskinned themselves for like a new era. It's a movie that's thin on plot, high on vibes. What did we think about Fresh Kill? Craig, you brought this. You go first.
Yeah, I brought this. I was told that it was weird. I mean, it delivered on that promise. I thought this was a lot of fun. It's accidentally an Ono Sendai film. There's a very serious undercurrent of the cyberpunk here. Yeah, I mean, this thing is, its tempo is really impressive. Like it's a breathless kind of editing. Every sequence is, decorated with like the most care possible. Whether it's like the incredible blocking, the incredible camera movement, or like the neon, or the computers, or the trash, or the glowing, or the advertisements. It keeps this like music video tempo up, without like sacrificing like quality or something. There's really amazing like physical performances. Like there's that guy that like just like dances occasionally, right? They're driving in the car at one point, and like he gets up on the hood, and we get to see like an extended like dance performance from a human being, and the way that this person's dressed is fantastic. It's colorful, it's eccentric, and it doesn't make sense really. I mean, there is a continuous like through line here, but the plot is one of like a kind of dream like fever like continuity, wherein like I can say that like there's a thread here, but whether or not like things are happening or motivated, it's like our kid is lost. That's fucking crazy. We got to go find our kid. And then it's like the kid was with the dad, and it's like, thank God. Like where I think I think it like eschews plot in a very beautiful way. I love this idea of I think cyberpunk, where we've kind of run up against like or at least for me, like the doldrums of cyberpunk is just like it's a kind of it's a nothing thing where it's like we get to be on the web, and then that's kind of it. But like cyberpunk in a way that's exciting for me is the kind of like Matrix cyberpunk, where it's like you get to transcend your human form. you get to be the like hero you didn't think you could be. And I love the idea of like this like lesbian couple. There's a one of the women, she's white and her mother's black. There's a kind of like, how do I say this? There's a transcending of like normative like family and racial configurations that to me speaks of that kind of transcendence, where it's electric and exciting because it isn't bogged down by like just the sheer thrill of surfing the web or whatever. And again, like I think that the film's like thesis statement is like, what the fuck are we doing with all this trash? What the fuck are we doing poisoning ourselves with like this toxic waste? And I immediately thought of like Fukushima, meltdown, how like all that radiation just like all that radioactive water just poured into the ocean and, found itself in sea life, and then that sea life eventually becomes sushi in New York City, and like, the kind of like the gears and the mechanisms by which our refuse ultimately ends up being consumed by us and poisoning us. But the film isn't like bleak or somber on that regard. In that regard, it's just, it's like, this like fucked up corporation is gonna try to like sell you a reskinned version of itself. Don't ever buy it. Rather than like giving up into despair, it's like it's like we get to love each other really ferociously, even though we live in a world that's like determined to poison us. All that style, all that like transcendence of like expected social racial configurations, like to me it's a lot of fun. It's really not weird. It's weird. I think it's eccentric and it's expressive, but it's ultimately like not weird. or weird in a good way. I don't know. I liked it.
I love when you describe cyberpunk that you like, and then you're basically describing Serial Experiments Lane.
I wasn't going to say anything.
How though?
Craig, you literally described the plot of Serial Experiments Lane.
Okay,
but it's okay. We don't have to go into it.
Sorry. I want to go into it just really quickly. I don't understand how a girl is slowly dissociating. Each episode, her deck is consuming her bedroom. I don't understand. Like, to me, it's one, it's deeply boring, and there's a lot of reused animations and shots. And two, like, she's just dying. Lane is just dying. Like, I don't. To me, there's no joy in that.
Yeah, I liked Fresh Kill quite a lot. I liked how it would sort of like blend its experimental stuff with its narrative stuff. I think it like pushed those together in like a really satisfying way. Like I really liked when like a scene would play out and then like the last like 3 lines would be delivered like straight to camera. Like I like there's a bunch of like like especially I feel like that happens all the time in that like sushi bar, which is also just like a black void.
So awesome.
It's so cool. I would so eat in like a completely undefined space. Like that would be so cool. I like that it leaned so heavily into like low budget abstraction. It reminded me a lot of like Repo Man or like Street Trash or something. And like I think the actors do like a great job of like selling the style too. Like their outfits are so good, and like they are like blocked perfectly for everything that they need to do. They're convincing in this sort of like hyper real America. Then like I like that vision of America. Like it feels very like Verhoeven-esque, and it's like fascination with like TV commercials and like how do you sell something that's horrible on TV. Like I see like kind of like the same DNA here. And I think it also kind of like bleeds into like queer aesthetics in a really cool way. If I have like one complaint, it's that it just gets a little too like Judy funny with it sometimes. Just for my personal taste. If you don't know who that is, that was Doug's sister on the cartoon Doug. And I think like most of it works really well. Like I love that monologue about like corporations burying toxic waste and like what it did to like the native people. Like that worked really great in like kind of like an Alan Moore Swamp Thing kind of way. But then like something fucking Judy funny would happen. I would like roll my eyes, but it would always win me back. It was consistent on winning me back. I quite liked Fresh Kill.
Judy Funny was my favorite cartoon character until like Daria. Those are my favorite
She's a great character.
Yeah, I was just astounded by this movie. I thought this was really special. What I want to highlight first is something that you both already said, and that I think this movie is blocked like crazy. They staged the fuck out of this. Like every scene is so artful. This movie is defined by like the detritus and just sort of like the waste of like, you know, this vision of America. And they are so artful with like blocking the frame with that. Like there's constantly shots of like, you know, 50 cathode ray tube televisions that are just like, you know, artfully sort of stacked on top of one another. The frame is always super interesting. I love when they do, I'm going to say this reminds me of Hackers, even though this I think came out like the year before Hackers, but like where the screen is just like text on a monitor. That shit makes my blood get hot. I love to see it. And not to drag myself here, but like I thought this movie was really quite poetic. But I'm like a Judy Funny style individual. So like when the movie would like break to have the Miguel character, who I didn't mention earlier because he doesn't really do anything plot related. Like the character Miguel is like a poet, like that's what he does in the movie, and so a lot of his like lines will be sort of non sequiturs. They'll transition pretty seamlessly from like Spanish to English, and then occasionally he'll just look at the camera and then do like a stanza from some like poem that exists in his brain. I thought there was just something so scrappy about this movie. I love this sort of like this like feminist futurist sort of take on cyberpunk. I think there are portions of it that are like a bit Afrofuturist, but it's also like so lo-fi. Like I love how the cyberpunkness here is. I mean, compared to something contemporaneous like Hackers, which still feels sort of like, I mean, it's computer magic, but it's more advanced computer magic. Like this is really like old technology, but it feels cyberpunk at the same time, and I don't think I've seen that very often. And so it was really special to see. Yeah, I liked all the characters. I also was enamored with the non-place sushi restaurant. I loved that like business guy who's like glitching out constantly. That was really fun. Like he's too business pilled, so he's like short circuiting. He's like become detached from his physical form, and he's just sort of like he's in The Wired now or something. Yeah, I mean this for me, this movie just really reminded me that like. I think it's a bit of a cliche, but like I think it's also true that like a lot of the time the art that you're looking for already exists and is out there. It's just a matter of finding it. And for me, Fresh Kill was very much something that it's like as if a zine became a movie. I just love that so much. Like I feel like I picked this out of a zine milk crate at like Quimby's or something in Chicago, and it became a movie, and I really love that quality about it.
Yeah, you can really like see all of like the passion and the like parts that like it's just clearly it's just not gonna make money. Like this isn't gonna be like a huge movie, but it's like there's this like unending like care put into like what's in frame, like what people are doing, like. It's crazy what they're able to make. I
think a lot of that might be because the director here, Shuli Chang, it seems like a lot of her work is like fine art video installation and like that kind of thing. So I think she really comes from that sort of place where like, I mean, like I said, this movie is like almost non-narrative. And so like you just get sort of these like compelling imagery with this sort of poetry on top, and all of this sort of like mise en scène is like oftentimes like thrown out the window. Like I said, like Jen said, like sometimes they just look at the camera and they read a monologue for a few seconds. So like the movie is really willing to, I think, wear its like video installation roots on its sleeve, and I think it makes it a pretty unique experience. I think I want to talk about how TV is religion. I think that's where I'm going to go with this.
Okay, hell yeah.
There's like these scenes in the movie. Okay, so like first of all, I think importantly, like there's the vision of television in this movie is like. It's like telephone and like web forum and TV all into one. Like it feels like people are communicating with each other through the TV screen, and they're not. It's just like the broadcasts are just like strung together that way. But I think the purpose is to show that like all, especially if you are sort of part of this like American superstructure, like all communication now is television. Like it's cat food commercials, and it's billionaires like lying to you on TV, and like sometimes it's like a cartoon, right? And like that's like all the meaningful communication here, and like a real like end of history point in America and like pop culture. So first of all, I want to like I think this movie wants you to know that like all communication except for these characters who are outside of the system, who are meaningfully interacting in person, and they're really the only characters to do that. I think in any meaningful way, or like sort of our three protagonists. There's like scenes, I think in like the middle of the movie where it sort of draws this like this parallel to like religiosity, like it's like a I think it's like a commercial or like a church program or something. And that just really like drove home to me that like, right. So in this sort of, techno paranoiac kind of future, like TV is communication, and therefore it also becomes our religion, because like watching like this guy on the screen, like you have this man who exists in like a black void, and he's like the head of the GX Corporation. Watching him interact with like the other people on screen, like that newscaster who recurs sometimes. It just made me feel like, oh, this is like all those stories about like gods in ancient Greece interacting. They're like unknowable. They're mostly unconcerned with humanity except for when they're not. And they're just sort of like acting out their dramas. And then like the regular people who are eating the poisoned fish and watching the cat food commercials and like glitching out at the sushi restaurant just sort of have to like watch these deities interact. And yeah, it seems like by and large, so much of technology in this movie's vision is, I don't know, it's almost like Oracle-like or something.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of CCTV footage of a subway, and like you know that idea of privacy being violated by the eye of the camera, but like in a kind of cyberpunk way. And I think it's a almost explicit reference to the real surveillance camera players. These New York City people in the mid '90s that would perform for security cameras. They would do plays, adapted plays of like 1984, and like you know, they'd also do it in front of like churches, like church CCTV cameras, like. Why does God need the surveillance cameras? Doesn't God see everything? And there's a lot of like really great documentation of it. But that idea of in some way like intervening in like one's participation in your like privacy being violated by the camera, or like the television program that the mother has at one point that she eventually loses. It's like she's carved out this sort of this little broadcast like niche for herself where she can speak on her own terms, but then you know, once she says something that you know isn't like copacetic, then she doesn't have the television program, right? Like that monopoly, it begins to feel I mean, we see that piece of advertisement footage probably like 4 or 5 times, where it's like a guy is like holding the globe.
Yeah.
Right, like and it's like through the television, and it becomes a displaced kind of like rampaging god, but it's like just kicking over everything in your psyche, and that too is like a form of trash, right? Like it's a form of like pollution. It's a form of it's not affecting the body, but rather the mind. It's not making you glow, but it's still fucking with you. Like it's very like, I think skeptical of or like cautioning, there's a caution to it, but there's also that idea that like the format can be like fucked with.
Yeah, I think it really nails that kind of like mid 90s TV aesthetic as well. Like I watch a lot of Mystery Science Theater with the commercials intact, and like the commercials look like this, like the logos look like this. It's all edited and it sounds like this. It's like completely like pitch perfect in like how it recreates all of this garbage, all of this like stupid shit that I find fascinating. And so I really kind of enjoyed that texture to it, of just kind of like how well observed and like created everything was.
I feel like, okay, I don't want to make like too big of like a point out of this, but like I want to know if like you guys felt this too. It was almost like there was also this, because there are characters who are more like in it than so like our protagonists are very much like for the most part out of the system, and then you've got a couple of characters who were in it, like again like the glitching businessman, and then I would say like the owner of the sushi restaurant. She's only in a few scenes, but you know, the woman who's like comes out and she's like, by the way, you're all fired, like just for funsies. And then there's this extended scene where she's sort of like looking at Claire and Johnny, the ones who work at the restaurant, and she's like, am I glowing yet? Can you see if I'm glowing? And it feels like she wants to glow. And I'm like, it's bad to glow. You don't want to glow. It means that you've taken the GX Corporation's like super evil chemical that's in all the fish now, and you don't want to glow. But she, in my reading of that scene, it seems like she's like trying to glow. And so like I was like thinking while watching, like, oh, it would make sense then, like if, you know, in this sort of society, if you have, it's sort of like Unbreakable. Okay, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. If you have people who are very outside the system, you would have to have people who are hungry to sup at the teat of the system, which means you know, even if the glowing kills them, it would behoove them to glow because it shows that they are consuming the system the most. So that's what I got out of a scene that lasts about 45 seconds. Is that I just
yeah. I mean that whole like the whole sushi restaurant and its clientele is like this professional class of people that are talking to each other and not fucking saying anything. You know,
yeah.
They're talking about like derivatives and market swings and whatever, but like none of them are actually like speaking to each other. And yeah, they're like at like, it reminded me of how this is a tangent, but like, you know, predators like eagles and hawks and so on, they get really concentrated doses of things like mercury because it's like, it, you know, there's a kind of like exponential, like it's in the thing, and then the rabbit eats the grass, and like, you know, like it becomes concentrated like the higher up the food chain you are, and in that way, like there's like kind of like a social strata, and like they're the ones like eating the, you know, the raw fish and like and consuming the most poison, which is interesting. Yeah, even before like the businessman starts glitching and speaking like backwards, he's already not saying anything. Yeah, there's like a diffuse madness of the people that are like, yeah, in the sushi void restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. It seems like actually, yeah, all of the clientele is sort of like the lady who longs to glow. Like you have the you have like the I guess he's like he must be some up and coming performer because his like agent is always like talking strategy or whatever. So he's doing like, I get like, I guess like early mumblecore rap, like he's just sort of like freestyling at the table, and she's sort of just like saying fucking whatever to him. You've got like a couple women who are just, I don't know what else to say except for they just kind of drift around the restaurant aimlessly, like they don't do any of the functions of what you would do at a restaurant. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess like pretty much everybody who goes to this void restaurant is sort of the glow acolytes.
Yeah, I like what you were saying about the businessman's speech being so empty that it doesn't matter that there's parts of it that are backwards.
Right.
That right. It's every bit as like coherent, even in its distorted state.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that struck me is like, you know, there's probably like 5 or 6 people at the table, and they all get like line reads, but like there's no connection between what they're saying.
Right.
There's not like a meaningful like, how was your day? My day was fine. They're just like saying things out loud. You know? It's really they're not they're not interacting on a human level. You know, where like our leads, our heroines get to be, you know, like they're yeah
they remain human despite everything.
Exactly.
Truly. I really think that like Chang is kind of coming for everybody here, because like a lot of that guy's scenes like take place at some like very trendy art gallery. And so like he and his like business stooge are like sort of like, there's maybe 3 different scenes where they're just like wandering through this gallery, and it definitely seems like, I don't know how else to interpret this, but sort of like a send up of like this sort of ultra professionalized art world where it becomes less a mode of human expression and more of like I don't know, collectibles for the obscenely rich, right? So you know, you have all these painting, some sculpture work there, and the guy is doing the same like glitching business jargon he's doing at the table, because this art gallery, ostensibly this space of, you know, expression, humanity, certain settings like this also become co-opted to become more glowing venues to glow at.
Right. It's a third or fourth space for these professional class freaks to just like talk to each other about professional class like nonsense. You know, there's a great moment where there's just a guy in a shopping cart. There's a guy in a suit, just like in a shopping cart. And you know, that's the thing. They're speaking to each other, and there's no connection with the artwork. They're in a space that incidentally happens to have art that's also very bad. You know, and like it reminded me of the scene in La Haine where, you know, they find themselves at an art gallery, and there's like, you know, a couple like plastic bottles like spray painted white, and like a little doll or something, and you know, it's you know, they get thrown out for being vulgar and crass and so on, but like the space is cleaved of any, like, and that's the thing, like the idea of an art gallery is notionally where humanity gets to be on display, but it's actually just a place for like money laundering and to talk about money laundering with other 100%. People. You know, there's actually a gallery that just had a gala, a little fun gala, and here in Chicago, and I'm not gonna name the place, and I can't avoid seeing pictures of it for some reason, and it's like this is what's happening here. I'm seeing a lot of photographs of people in clothes that like are more than my monthly rent.
Yeah.
You know, and like what's where's the art here? Where's the human expression? This is just an exchange of like influence and money. And it's this sucks. This fucking sucks ass. Like, this is really awful. But I mean, but that's how the art world has functioned for like a really, 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 really long time. Where it's just it's a transactional space of like esteem and networking and clout and money and the laundering of that money and delight for you know, like like a kind of like mild, like polite bemusement of the people going there, right? Like they get to see something a little kooky, and they get to have a fun night out, and it's like, that sucks though.
Yeah. Well, and to be clear, go ahead.
Oh, there's a I guess it's technically a gallery, but it's more like a place you go to buy terrible art. The art store down the street from the office I work in, and I have to walk past it to get to the very great Japanese grocery store where I buy my lunches at. And every time I walk by it, I try not to look in the window because I'll just get pissed off if I actually look at any of the art, because it's all just like it'll be like some pop culture character that's like a signifier for wealth. So it'll be like the Monopoly Man or like Richie Rich or something.
Man.
And then it'll be like faux street art designs of them hoarding money with like Super Mario or something. It is the most ridiculous, empty money worship art that, like, I don't know, whenever I try not to look at it, because I'll just be like, I need to like building down or something. Like, you people don't deserve to, like, you don't deserve canvas, you don't deserve printers, you don't deserve paint, you don't deserve anything. You should all be, if you bought anything from this store ever, you should be like, I'll just I don't know. It's so infuriating that it has to exist so close to me.
When I was working at Nucleus, an art gallery, I don't know.
Do you want me to bleep that?
No, I don't care. The gallery that I worked at only did entertainment art. It was all cool stuff, and I like to see it. Anyway, but they did have like a copy of like Juxtapose, and I hadn't looked at a copy of Juxtapose in like 15 years, right? So like it was a slow day. I was leafing through it, and there was like this feature, you know, in I would say one of the bigger visual art trades. Probably not the biggest, but I think one of the bigger ones. And it's this artist in Brooklyn who does like giant canvases, and it's just drawings of like anime style girls, right? But like it's clear that this person has never seen a cartoon before, and so like all the proportions are crazy and everything is just kind of off, and they're not like provocative or anything, like, even although I think that would also be pretty trite and annoying. But like this person was getting all of this acclaim for like this. It was kind of like
manga.
It was kind of like Roy Lichtenstein. Like he put like completely poorly drawn anime girls on a canvas, like with like their eyes weren't the same height, like it all looked really bad, and they're like, it's crazy how you're sort of elevating this low art to high art, and I'm like, well, and I'm like, what fucking year is it? Like the technique here is terrible. Like, what are any of you talking about? And then it's just like, oh yeah, this is all just money laundering all the way down. Any guy like posting their OC on Twitter is more of an artist than that person. Like,
yeah,
there's just more care there.
Man, Yoshitaka Amano's right there. There's high art anime stuff. Like get fucked, man.
But I don't know. I felt like that was so prescient here in Fresh Kill. I mean, like obviously that was already happening at this time. But then like what I thought was amazingly well observed, and like, you know, I was only 3 when this movie came out, but I'm sure it's worse now than it was then. Was this movie's vision of like companies, you know, like, I mean, what have we seen? Like BP, Exxon Valdez, Chevron, like all these companies that are poisoning the world with these extremely large, major scale scandals where they've poisoned the oceans, poisoned the Amazon, poisoned and anything else that we need as a planet to survive. You know, then there's this idea that, they're like, we're listening, we're learning, we're like a green corporation now, we love you, and we care. And this sort of like greenwashing that the GX Corporation does at the end of the movie, I thought was like creepily prescient with the way that corporations do things now, where it's just like, yeah, we have, you know, we're bisexual and depressed. Also, that's why you should buy our cancer-causing additives. They're organic. The cancer is organic. And it's very much that, like, even, you know, the commodification of even life itself becomes this sort of thing. And yeah, that was creepily well observed to me.
Yeah, especially as like years have gone by, like it is incredibly forward thinking, but like it's just gotten so much worse than this too. I don't know. All social media makes me feel like I'm getting shot at now. Like I just have the I just have the emotion that I'm like undercover. There is some sort of like the greenwashing stuff like has just gotten so much worse. Like that there are, like, this happens, like there are Exxon PSAs about how much they're doing to clean up like the damage that they did. It's so like the damage that they ignored for so long, or like a protester had to like bring like an expose article to like a major newspaper to even get them to acknowledge that they were doing it. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like it's so still here, man.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Chevron that made Steven Donziger be under house arrest for like half a decade?
Yeah,
for what they did. Yeah.
God damn.
I'm kind of at the end of my notes here, but I don't think I adequately talked about how much I just love like the visual identity of this movie. Again, I found it so inspirational, really, for like how scrappy and low budget the movie is. Just like I really can't say enough how like gorgeously arranged things are in the frame, and it's like every shot too. I'm like really taken with all of the spaces in this. Like I love that at landfill. Yeah, there's just this wall of TVs that are all working in a very like cyberpunk way, like the TVs are broadcasting. I love their apartment, which just seems to be one large room with a refrigerator that's the wrong size for that room. It's just also like gorgeous. I love they use the shot a few times, but there's like a neon sign at the sushi bar that they frame around, like they do this sort of like this down shot on the sushi bar, and there's this really beautiful neon sign, and I'm like, I love that you guys got a neon sign for this movie. That's really fun. And it's just all of these, like, I can tell that this was a handful of people doing something that they really like enjoyed and believed in, and all of those like clearly like low budget on purpose touches are just so lovely. This is so tiny, and like this but it brought me personal joy. There's a scene at the Nagasaki, the sushi bar, where there's like a cat for some reason, and the cat is clearly like noticing the camera person. And so as the camera is sort of like pushing past the cat is like following them with it's like watching them move. And I don't know, like I found that very charming that like this, I don't know, the animal wasn't perfectly camera trained. So you can sort of see the seam there where the cat was watching the camera person like push in. It all just like, I don't know, this whole thing, like it made filmmaking feel very like tactile and achievable. And something that like anybody with a vision and like a interesting enough collective could do. And I mean, like, especially nowadays where there's we just talked about this on Vulcan Isadora, where like there's such a high bar even to be like a novice, right? Like there's such a level of polish and perfectionism that's expected because everybody's so like in touch with everything happening all the time. And just to see this movie where it's gorgeous and it looks amazing, but also you can tell that they had the budget that they had, and it is beautiful because of that and not in spite of it. I think really it's just marvelous.
It kicks ass. I think this movie like has some kind of cult following, but like there's a Letterboxd review that just like sticks in my brain. This is Gregoraki for lesbians.
Literally.
Honestly, even like the text on the computer was like reminding me of like the way like in like totally fucked up that he would just like cut to text.
Right. Yeah, completely. Like, yeah, text is like crazy important to, and like the stylization of the text, like the opening credits are fucking great. Yeah, I mean it has that scrappy DIY kind of quality while also being like endlessly cool. So yeah, I mean I think if what we're talking about sounds interesting, Gregoraki for lesbians, then baby, do I have a movie for you.
That's so incredibly well observed.
Yeah. Shout out to whoever said that.
Yeah. As a guy who also can't shut up about Gregoraki, yeah, that absolutely tracks.
Yeah. I did love seeing such a weird movie focus on a lesbian couple.
Absolutely. You just got to wear so much cool stuff in the 90s.
Like, the outfits are so good.
But like it's all of them too. Like Miguel is where there's this scene where I think it's Miguel and Johnny are just, it looks like they're in Manhattan because the buildings are real big. And they're just walking by this woman selling secondhand books on the street. And actually I think that woman, by the way, is the writer of the film. They're walking by this woman selling books, and Miguel is wearing like this head-eating beret. Like it's a huge fucking beret. And I'm like, that is a bold look for just like a Tuesday afternoon in New York. And I'm like, we've really lost something, I fear. You don't see men with insane accessories anymore.
There's a scene where I think they're dropping their kid off to be like babysat by their sushi coworker. One of the people in the main couple, she has like these vertically striped pants on it and like a ring belt, and it's so fascinating, like how loud and big it is. But like, I mean, the whole movie is so loud and big that like it works, you know, like it feels art directed to the scene, even though it's like if you caught me wearing that, you would be like, what the fuck are you wearing? But like it just manages to make it exist properly in all of these scenes. I don't know. It's great. It's magic. It's movie magic. I love it.
I think you actually should move towards a more Fresh Kill style wardrobe. I think that would be really exciting for you.
Right now it's just all black and occasionally a metal band shirt. So
same.
Yeah, thirded. I need to. So I have I have like 2 T-shirts that aren't black, and one of them is the Michael Douglas SWIMFANS shirt, and the other one is a light pink, and it's my cousin's band shirt. And I was going to wear it the other day, and I saw that at some point I had gotten coffee on the shirt, so there was like 3 like drops of coffee on the shirt, and I'm like, this is why I don't own anything that isn't black. I did get the stain out though, but it just reminded me why I don't own anything with color in it.
Yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts? I just think the world of this. I wish that Chang had made more movies. She might have made at least one more, but I know that like a feature length film isn't her main gig. It's got Zaz though.
She made one that I actually wanted to see for like 20 years now. It's called IKU, and it's like I think it's like a hardcore film though. So I think it's like technically pornography, but I still really want to see it. And I think having seen this, I'm going to seek that out soon.
Word. Let me know how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like Judy funny stuff.
Yeah.
Run, don't walk.
It was such a drag. I couldn't believe it.
It's just a type of artistic sensibility that I can just see in movies sometimes. I don't think it's even like an insult. It's just like, this is some Judy funny shit.
Again, as a vaguely Judy funny type individual, I think it's valid.
I watched a movie called I think it was just called Dr. Caligari, and it's from the 80s. It's like a retelling of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, but like it's the most Judy funny thing I've ever seen. It's you just watch like a trailer or something, and you'll be like, holy shit! It's like the scene when Doug went to the art school.
Actually, when I was in Brooklyn last time, so I guess a couple years ago, I was meeting up with my friend from home. And we were just sort of chatting, and he was telling me that he and the guy he was seeing at the time were going to like a small independent theater production that was some sort of like interpretive, like abstract theater production, but it was about Pokemon. And I'm like, yeah, that's new.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's actually a lot of it here. One of the things I was like, I assumed that kind of thing was dead in New York City, because like I just assumed the people who would make something like that could no longer afford to live in Manhattan. So I assumed it was dead. And then like once a year I'm reminded that no, it's very much, that scene is very much alive.
Amen. Good for them.
God bless them, honestly.
I gave this 4 stars. I really think the world of this.
Yeah, solid 4.
Same, 4 stars.
Do we have any questions?
Oh, we had one. Yeah, we have one. Does someone logged into the Blue Sky or have access to the question?
I do not.
Let me jump in. Question from Fortune in Hades. Jennifer, God is disappointed to learn that he will not be able to torment you in hell because you will never die. He chooses one of your fucked up films to get a remake by a soulless director. What's the original movie? Which Hollywood creative will desecrate it with a big budget and mainstream sensibilities?
So I've been sitting on this one for like 2 weeks now, trying to like really get to like, I don't know, like what would be the thing that would like really like piss me off the most, right? And I think I found it, but it's kind of in a reverse way, because it's a director I don't like, but I think he'd actually do like a great job at it. Have either of you seen Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood?
Absolutely not. No. I haven't.
So it's a Hideshi Hino directed guinea pig entry where this guy in a samurai costume like cuts up this woman, obviously, And the whole time he's like narrating about like the beauty of her body parts and stuff. And so it's about like aestheticizing like the dismembered form. And I was like, well, you know, that's like deep balaclava shit. Who would be like the worst person to handle it? And I settled on Wes Anderson, because I think that his ability to depersonalize things and like take a step back and like aestheticize everything could actually be an interesting choice for a movie about like turning human bodies into art objects. And I don't know if he would do a good job at it, because I think he would be too quirked up about everything. But like if he was able to like disconnect that and embrace like red corn syrup, I think he might be able to cook on that. I don't think I would enjoy it. I think it would piss me off even more, because I think he'd be good at it. But that's my answer. That would be a unique psychic punishment for me.
I'm picturing a scene where Bill Murray, again, he's just cut a woman up into pieces, right?
It's Gwyneth Paltrow.
And so he's taking the organs and various body parts, and he's setting them, of course, on like a gingham tablecloth, and they are perfectly arranged. And he's like, heart, kidneys, liver, and of course there's a cute little thing. And then he's like, femur, and then the femur is of course slightly off, like it's slightly not straight, so a hand reaches in to correct
a bloodied glove.
Femur.
A bloodied glove points into frame and fixes it. Yeah.
Edward Norton in a fez cap is like watching through binoculars.
He's recording it on like like an elaborate 16 millimeter camera out on the other side of the set. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very potent sense memory, Jennifer. Thank you. I could really see that entire scene.
Yeah. Like he hits like if he could get like the artery spray correct, you know? So like it's like just disruptive enough to be elegant in the frame. I don't know. I think he could be good at it if he wasn't like a quirky little like imp or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah, Michael Cera and Saoirse Ronan are there, like talking about the effectiveness of the dissection. They're giving the viewers like a rundown of what's going on.
I would be screaming and trying to like take the chairs, but they're like they're bolted to the theater floor, and I'm like trying to throw them like a WWE match. It's just not happening.
That's incredible. What a good answer. Thank you, Fortunes in Hades.
Thank you, Fortunes in Hades.
Actually, I would watch Angelica Houston cut somebody up, though. That might have legs.
Yeah, if they swapped the genders of the killer victim dynamic of Flower of Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. Oh, what if like Angelica Houston cut up Jason Schwartzman? That would be really exciting.
Fuck. God damn it.
I'm this guy's biggest hater, but I've seen all of his fucking movies.
I don't think I've seen one since Grand Budapest Hotel. I think that was the last one I watched.
I keep seeing them. Like occasionally I watch something really stupid at work that I don't need to like devote my whole attention to. But even still, I'm like, I don't want to. Like I can't. I don't care. Like you know, like his recent like all the whole like there's like at least like 3 or 4 films that are just now just like on streaming for free, and I'm not like I can't, I'm not. I don't care. I don't fucking care.
I think his of this decade, it was French Dispatch, Asteroid City, and The Phoenician Scheme.
Yep. Very
mixed bag, I have to say.
What's the best one?
The French Dispatch. And here's why, and this is my hot take, is that so the French Dispatch is like 3 or 4 vignettes. And so because they're not a full feature-length story, I don't get sick of them quite so much. They don't overstay their welcome the way every single other one does. And so I left the French Dispatch markedly less mad. Meanwhile, Asteroid City has a scene where like the little kids who were at camp or whatever are just like playing a game where they just recite facts to each other. And I'm like, I get it. It's like a 6-minute long scene. And I'm like, I get it. You're the smartest boy in class. End this. End this.
Your teacher's best good boy.
Yeah, it's not 6 minutes long. It's probably 2 minutes long, but it's like the children are playing this game where like it's like a camp game where they just like have to like recite facts to each other. And I'm like, this is detestable. I hate what you put on this
Eltingville Club.
Yeah, basically. It's like, yeah, if Eltingville didn't have like bad vibes, that was kind of what's going on.
He's not untalented. I just don't really vibe with his work. Royal Tenenbaums, I think, is pretty good.
Thank you, Fortunes in Hades, for the question. If you want to ask a question, you can do that wherever you want to. So Instagram, DMs, you could do that on the Spotify episode. You could email us, that's swimfanspodcast@gmail.com, or you could DM us on Blue Sky, user swimfanspod. Wherever you want to do that, we love the questions. If you have recommendations for us, we take those at those places as well. You can also find the show wherever you or on all the social medias, like I kind of just said. So Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, user SwimFansPod. You can get the show wherever you get your podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Please rate, please subscribe, please review, please do all that good stuff. Please, please, please. And we have a Patreon. Okay, that's patreon.com/swimfans. You can get access to the entire back catalog of content for as low as $1 a month. So if you would like to do that, we would love it. And thank you to all of our patrons currently. And I am online on all the social medias, user Amons, AMONNS. This is crazy, but I just saw Lost Highway for the first time yesterday. It went hard as hell. It's also David Lynch's like mall gothiest movie of all time. Mm-hmm. Like I was like kind of shocked. I'm like he saw a Hot Topic once. And he put Marilyn Manson in his movie, and it was like crazy. And like what was it? Didn't Trent Reznor record Perfect Drug for this movie?
Yeah, he produced the whole soundtrack on Nothing Records.
In retrospect, Perfect Drug is a crazy track for Lost Highway. Like I don't think they go together at all. It's a great song. I love that song. I just don't think it goes very well with Lost Highway. I really liked it. Patricia Arquette. Wow. She's so beautiful and so amazing. I really liked it. I like David Lynch's like goth era. Big fan. Jennifer.
You can follow me on Blue Sky, diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. I actually didn't really watch any movies other than the ones that I do for the show. What
have you been watching?
Well, honestly, not much. I've been gaming more. I've been playing Silent Hill 2. I think I'm about halfway through that, like the original.
How's that going?
It's great. I'm really enjoying it. But it's like I don't know. I gotta beat it. You know.
Yeah.
I started watching Jupiter Ascending with my partner, but they weren't really into it. So about halfway through, we aborted that one. But yeah, I don't know.
That surprises me. I thought that would be a hit.
I think
for that particular audience,
they may have just been a bit tired.
Fair enough.
Craig.
You can find me at Craig Neeson on Instagram and Letterboxd, CraigNeeson.com. I watched Extreme Private Eros, Love Song, 1974.
Is this a Jen film?
This is actually a Megan film. Megan had to watch this for school and then watch it again so she could write an essay on it. So this guy makes a film. His wife leaves him, left him, and took the child to go live this kind of untethered life, and follow her libidinal desires, and she ends up with a woman, and then she ends up in Okinawa, and then she ends up sleeping with GIs on Okinawa and becoming a bar girl on Okinawa, and having a baby, and he films everything. He follows his ex around and actually brings a new girlfriend into this situation, and he makes a documentary about his ex following around, and it's fucking crazy. It's one of the fucking craziest documentaries I've ever seen. The dude is in the beginning, he's just doing self-harm to himself by hearing about his ex, and what she wants and like what she's been doing, and it's like, why are you doing this to yourself, man? But it's crazy. It's like the craziest format and like just general setup for a documentary I think I've ever seen. Yeah. So watch Extreme Private Eros: Love Song 1974 by Kazuo Hara.
That is the most like divorced thing, but in like a weird way I've ever heard in my life. And that's like a documentary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he like she gets pregnant from one of these GIs on Okinawa, and he films it, and I don't think it cuts away. He films her giving birth to this child while his like new girlfriend is doing the audio recording. Just slightly in frame. She's giving birth.
Imagine being the new girlfriend, by the way.
I know. And then when she first shows up on the scene, like this, his ex just cannot stop talking shit about him and like doing little like side like little jabs against this new girl. Like she's audio recording his ex, just like actively talking shit about her. Like they've just met.
Wow.
Like it like the dynamics on display are just like insane. Like there's some kind of like amazing fidelity to the project while also being like, why are you doing this, man?
Like extended self-harm on screen for you, the viewer.
It sounds awesome.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Like it's honestly like fucking fantastic. I think everyone should see it. It's fucking great.
Well,
hell yeah.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Dudes rock, man.
Yeah, dudes do rock. Yeah.
It's like divorce will either cause you to make a Punisher movie or just like follow your ex-wife around with a camera. That's
Well,
so
she talks
sick.
about how much she hates you the entire time. Yeah,
So
that's
sick.
For real. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna leave you with that. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.